Hi again, everyone. I'm Ollie Matthews. This is the Narcissistic Resistance, and for the first time with a brand new microphone. So let me know what you think of the sound quality. We are pretty professional. And this resistance video is sponsored by contribution from Catherine, and here's her story. Hi, Ollie. I sent a donation yesterday just to say thanks, but if you need more material, here goes. Raised in a family of narcs, Irish Catholic mom, narc and Asperger's, if I had to guess. My uncle, her brother, was a great guy whom we loved. He told me when I was older, my grandmother, his and my mom's mother, hated me from the day I came home from the hospital. She lived with us after my grandfather died when I was just a baby. I think he died just to get away from her. I think that's why my grandfather died, just to get away from Virginia. That cleared up a lot for me. I knew she hated me. I think my mom hated me also. She would punish me more severely than the others and rage when she did. In that same conversation with my uncle, he told me I was always special and he loved me. I still cherish that. I think he was her golden child and my mom was the lost scapegoat child. Not sure about that, just a guess. However, my uncle was a very good man and didn't take advantage of his golden child status. Golden children do have a choice to be assholes or good people. These relatives are now deceased. I have an older brother, now deceased, low functioning narc, lived off state aid, and an alcoholic. I'm a second child, and then my sister, also narc alcoholic, was born 11 months later. Yeah, we're Irish twins. Last was my younger brother, super achiever narc with whom I went no contact. 4 kids in 4.5 years. My sister was my mom's golden child, and to some extent, my younger brother. They were my maternal grandmother's favorite, also. I was the scapegoat, still am, and my father's golden child. I think my mom was jealous of our relationship. That really messes with you when you are a scapegoat and golden child. We kids all loved my dad, who was a cop. He was funny and acted like he really loved us. My mom was angry and a strict disciplinarian. Still, our childhood was fun and we all had lots of friends and freedom. That's why I didn't write you about my life, because it wasn't as bad as others, but I'll continue. The month I turned 11, my dad left. Didn't say goodbye and took everything of value. He even forged my mom's signature on a loan. Wow. Totally blindsided me. He seemed like such a great dad who loved us. We had nothing to eat and lost the house. My uncle took us in. My dad left when he met the woman of his dreams on a wife-beating call, no less. He left us in poverty and gave her kids all they asked for. She turned out to be a horrid bitch that made his life miserable and left him with nothing. In high school, I was pretty smart and popular, and life was good. The consequences of my abuse hadn't yet manifested. At 22, I met my son's father, handsome, narc, alcoholic, surf bum. I wasn't interested in him until he ignored me, treated me like crap, and stopped seeing me when I got pregnant with my son. My son is now 38. We had an on and off relationship for years, but I never met his family. I felt like I was worthless when it came to love and relationships, but I excelled in other areas. As if I had two lives, one where the world was my oyster and one where I was sad, lost little girl who wasn't worth loving. Fast forward, reconnected with an old friend at my 20th high school reunion. It was like a moth to a flame and I went headlong into hell. I fell in love the moment he verbally abused me. Well, isn't that a huge red flag that as soon as a guy treats you like shit, you want him more than anything? He wanted a daughter and wouldn't marry me until I was pregnant and I had a daughter. When he became verbally abusive to my son, I left. My daughter was 6 weeks old at the time. I would accept abuse myself, but I would not allow others to abuse my son or daughter. The divorce was a nightmare that lasted 17 years. My family sympathized with him, except my mom. She lived with me and my kids at this time. She paid for my lawyers, who never tried to win. They saw me as whipped and wounded, and helped out financially. She always saw my ex for what he was, although she may have had motives. During the divorce, my ex ordered a psych evaluation because he had convinced everyone I was bipolar. Well, it turned out I had no mental issues, but he was diagnosed as a narc. No one cared that he was a narcissist. No one helped me, and everyone believed him. I fought so hard to hold on to my daughter and keep her safe. She was just a nursing baby when they gave him 50-50 custody. My attorney scared me into accepting this, and I was so beat down and afraid of him by this time. She said father's got 50-50 now in California. My daughter is 25 years old now, and I'm crying when I write this. It was so horrible, and she would cry and be so afraid when it was time for her to go with him. He was so cruel to her, and I couldn't save her. The most difficult hurt is when she was 13 years old. She started to show narc traits and began pulling away, then went to live with her dad full time. She hated me and would email me hate letters. We would have brief periods of rapport, but it wouldn't last long. She's married now with 2 sons. I wasn't invited to the wedding, and I saw my oldest grandson once. She still lives with her father. She is his only child and will inherit about $1 million. She keeps me separate from the rest of her life, even when we are on good terms, as if she doesn't want anyone to know me. She stopped talking to me when I said I was getting too old and tired of this crap, and she wanted me in her son's life in a real way. She will have to ask me and mean it. I haven't heard from her since. She does very well for self, very driven and successful and beautiful. She provides for her family and buys them the best, but lacks warmth and sweetness. And now for my son. I have such a wonderful son, so loyal and honorable. I would not have made it through without him. He loved his little sister and sacrificed a lot for her. She won't speak to him either. He was very hurt by this. Well, Ollie, there it is. I haven't told my story in years, and it was very cathartic to tell it to you because you get it, and that it is very valid, and that is very validating. I think I will have a glass of wine and reflect. You're a godsend, Ollie. You have helped so many people. I'm not religious, but I do believe in Jesus, and I said some prayers for you and your wife this week because all you do. Thank you, Catherine. You can use my name. I'm glad you said that at the end, because I had already used it at the beginning. You do realize, Catherine, the reason why you fell for this is because the way your father left you. He left you, you had abandonment issues, and you somehow correlated that into guys treating you like shit, and that's the guy you gotta have. It always starts somewhere, these patterns of behavior, why you end up with these types of abusers. I'd be interested to know a little bit more about what happened with you and your daughter. I mean, I certainly understand the stress and the frustration when you're trying to make a relationship work with your child and you just know they're not taking it seriously. You don't have a chance. Sometimes you just don't have a chance with your child. The narcs damaged them too early and for too long, and they just don't have, I wouldn't even say the courage, I would just say the desire to know the truth. I understand that you're walking on eggshells just trying to keep the relationship going, and you feel like that, you know that they're just doing whatever they can to sabotage it. Just like you said, you know, if you want me in your life, you've hurt me. It's out of the question. So you know. I mean, your daughter it's telling you. Just like my daughter tells me, I'm not worth anything. There's nothing we can do to change that. They're either going to want us or they're not. There is nothing at this point you can do to make your daughter have the relationship you want or even give a shit. Just like I can't make mine. And that hurts and that's terrible. But that's the reality. Otherwise, you will just stay stuck in the mud, obsessing over this. You have to just learn to move forward, which I think you did. So I hope that helps. Thank you so much for your contribution and your story. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any opinions or advice in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, a narcissist you'd like to expose, you'd like to set up Skype, a phone call, have a private video made, or a Facebook chat, or you'd like to sponsor a video like this for someone who needs help and can't afford it, or you just want to sponsor the channel in general so you can see the quality improve even more, let me know how the audio is on this, and leave that in the comments section. You know what to do with the PayPal and email links in the description box. And if you're still unclear, wait for the instructional video link to pop up on the screen at the end of this video to walk you through all that. And if you're not seeing it, make sure your pop-up blocker isn't on. Please like and share this video wherever you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. And be sure to click the subscription bell to be notified of all my video uploads. I'm Ollie Matthews. This has been The Narcissistic Resistance. Take care.